Hey everybody, it's Tim at Broken Dice, bringing you turn 2 of my Back to Iberia campaign between the Romans and some Iberian tribes. A little recap, not much went on in the first turn, a little combat um, for the division that you see right here in front of me, but other than that, not much happened. Uh, the Iberian left failed to move, the Roman right failed to move, so they're just over there glaring at each other. The Roman center failed to move, and the Iberian center only moved one move. As you can see, let's just move the camera up a little bit so you can see what's going on out that way. Okay, but we'll swing this around as we go through the orders and everything and get a better look. So what we're going to do is this is the Roman part of turn 2, so we're going to get into seeing what the Romans do, and I'll be back in a minute, and we'll go through probably some combats and shooting and all that fun stuff. All right, we got the moving part of it done. So let's look about what's going on here. Down here, we have the cavalry have moved up to support the light cavalry that's engaged with the medium cavalry on the opposite side. The Scutari have moved over to help their Catrate against their fight with the Catrate. You see by the arrows. And this Catrate unit has charged in against their opposite number. So that's what's happening on this side. Let's pause, move the camera around. We'll take a look at what's going on in the center. So in the center, the legionnaires have moved up. The skirmishers have moved further. Though we get into a little shooting, this is going to be very important, like in Hail Caesar, where these skirmishing units, I know that, especially like in the early part of the Roman Empire, with all the velites and the skirmishers, what will happen here in this game is that they become very important as support units later on. So if you can deprive a unit of their supports, the extra support that they can get from these small shooting units, that can swing the combat in your favor. So what the Roman slingers are going to do, they're going to try to reduce a couple of these units with their slings at long range, and we'll see how that takes effect. At least we got things moving on the table, and we've got our Roman commander sitting still, kind of watching how things progress. Be very interesting this turn. And let's take a look at the Roman right. Okay, here we got the Roman right have moved up minimum of 2 moves. They could have gone 3, but if the cavalry went 3 moves, that puts them in a very dangerous situation. And I try not to, when I'm doing one of these solo games, try to do things that are beneficial to one side or the other. Now, if I was playing and I'm playing a different opponent, a human opponent, I would not have my cavalry move so far out that it's an easy initiative charge for the opposite number. I think I want to make them try to earn it with a roll. So here the Romans have moved out. Their slingers are going to also engage, but they're facing an awful lot of skirmishing units in front of them for them to do any good. So we will see how this turns out. But when you got this many legionnaires on the table, I don't think you're worried too much about a little bit of shooting. So let's do some shooting, and then we will come back and talk about what happened. All right, let's just start where we're at here on this. These slingers right here, they missed. No big deal. And then the 2 units of slingers here in the middle that are off to the left of the screen, firing up there. They did a point of damage on this unit and a point of damage on that unit right there. And on the far left where the combat's going on, no shooting whatsoever. So let's pause this. We'll move back down to the left and we will roll for some combats. All right, so here we are back down here on the Roman left, the Iberian right. So let's go over what happened here. The light cavalry with their Iberian medium cavalry supports were able to do 3 points of damage almost made that medium cavalry for the Iberian tribes shaken, but just not quite. But coming back the other way, even needing threes to hit, they were still only able to do 3 points of damage. Now, it is a drawn combat, but the shaken unit must test. So we'll get to that test after we go, and we'll talk about the rest of the combat down here. Again, here, Gimp fight, both sides did 2 points of damage. There we go. And in this fight here, that unit right there took 2 points of damage. This unit right here took 1 point of damage. Since there was only 1 point of damage, there was nothing to divide up. I always give the single points to the units that's in combat. And wow. So we need to take a test here. And then we need to take a test here. All right, let's roll some dice for a test, and I'll be right back with the results. Okay, combat time. Well, combat results time. All right, let's talk down here about the cavalry. It was a close combat. Now, what happened was this unit, because it's shaken, it had to test, and so it gave ground disordered along with supports. So this unit becomes disordered as they fell back, and the medium cavalry from the other side has stayed in contact with the unit to continue that combat. Now, here in the center, again, it was a draw. Not much happened there. But over here, with this unit was in support of this unit where this combat was right here. Now, what I decided to do, because this combat unit is so large, there wasn't room to finagle them around to where they could support without touching either combat. So I did not allow them to continue their support of this unit. This unit got to follow up, but they've lost their support. We can just say that they were able to rein themselves in, or decided there's a juicier target coming or whatever. But due to proximity, I thought, well, since this combat's going on here, do they turn and face this one, or do they turn and face this unengaged infantry unit up here? I rolled a dice, and I turned to face them in this direction. So that brings us to the end of the Roman part of turn 2. Let's move over and see what our unengaged Iberians are going to do. All right, let's take a look at what happened in the movement phase. Oh my God. All right. Well, most of the stuff over there is already engaged, so not a whole lot of moving for the Iberians. I took my commander and tried to order this unit to move up to where they could engage that unit over there, either on this turn or the next turn. But no, I had to do a blunder. He blundered his order, and the unit moved one move to the left. So when I got over here to my commander for the Iberians and rolled his order, he passed it by 3, but with that unit in the way now, the skirmishers moved around to engage the Roman skirmishers. But God, I don't know what's going to happen now. It's kind of got all messed up. Oh, but that's not the worst thing that happened. Believe me. Let's take a look at the Iberian left and talk about that for a moment. Okay, so here we're on the Iberian left. And again, there was another blunder roll. So, yeah, out of the 3 rolls I did for orders, 2 of them blundered. But they both did the same thing, where the units move to the left. Well, if you remember, there was an Iberian cavalry unit right about there. So they got pushed off the table. And the way I'm going to do that is they're going to act as like an off-table unit that has to pass. He has to give them an order to get back onto the table. But I've also disordered them, so they have to wait an entire turn before they can come back on the table. So there may or may not be anything here to come back to help. So yeah, this has not been a great phase for the Iberians. Um, Obviously, all their javelin guys are well out of range of shooting, except for the ones that are in the middle. They're going to go after the Roman skirmishers in the middle, and that will be about it and for the shooting, and then we'll go back to the Iberian right and let them continue that combat over there, and we'll see how this turn 2 ends up. All right, let's talk about some of this skirmishing, open order infantry shooting at each other. Um, oh, wait a minute. I moved this dice. It should only be a 1. Okay. Um, these 2 units shot here did a point of damage. This open order unit here shot here, and they did 2 points of damage there. No 6s were rolled in the shooting, so no tests need to be taken. So I'm not so sure how we're going to do this in the long run, whether just to charge in and try to drive them away or something. Who knows? Let's get over to the combat on the Iberian right. Okay, combat-wise, okay. Drawn combat. Nobody did anything to anybody. Here, this unit lost. They become shaken. They had the test, and I rolled a 2, so they will be removed from the table. And then here, the Iberian medium cavalry on this side won the combat by 1. But both sides had the test, and since they were shaken, they had the test as well. But both fell back in disorder. So, yeah, this is over here. They just wore each other out and decided to take a break from the action. So let me move these guys, and then we'll take a look at how the table finally ended up for the end of turn 2. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on here on this end of the table. You can see that the 2 cavalry units have separated. Both are shaken. Now, the support unit is not shaken. It's only disordered, where the 2 main combatants have both become shaken, as well as disordered. So, at the beginning of the Roman part of this, that disorder will come off, because that will have been on a turn. The Iberians have to wait a whole turn till the end of their next turn for that to come off. Wow. Yeah, it's turned into a hot mess. Let's just say that. Now let's move the camera up a little bit, and we can kind of see what's going on in the middle. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to pause this, move the camera around a little bit. Okay, this is from the Roman side of the table, looking at the Iberians, and as you can tell here, this is the unit that blundered and moved towards the center, basically messing up the big boar's head formation to where it can't move forward to get engaged yet. Don't know what's going to happen here. We got all this shooting combat going on in here with the skirmishers. What a disaster. That was a bad phase for the Iberians. Actually, I think the Romans actually have come out pretty well on this. I mean, not so much in the damage that they've inflicted, but because of movement and disorganization, chaotic, the chaotic mess that we've got going on here. All right. Now let's move over and look at the Roman right and the Iberian left. Again, from the Roman side of the table this time. Have the Romans here. Up there, the Iberian left division has blundered and had moved all the way to the left. So now you can see where there's sizable gaps opening up here. Which side will take advantage of this? I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm going to stop the video here. I'm going to take some still pictures, and then we will get ready for turn 3 next time. All right. Well, this brings this video to an end. I hope you guys like this kind of thing. Just haven't gamed in a while with anyone, so I'm just decided to put my stuff out on the table and do a solo. I hope all your projects are going well. Everybody stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you next time.